Hi everyone, so we thought today that we'd do a video on a little bit of maintenance on these two Sonics. There's a couple of things that they both can suffer with. We thought we'd cover them in these videos. So the first one we're going to do is this one. They all work on the same principle, so the Baker as well as the Pertwee work on the same principle. So if you've got a Baker suffering with this, this is the cure. So what's the problem? That's the problem. It's catching on something. Doesn't sound very good. Is it broken? No, we're going to fix it. All we're going to need is a small Allen key. And you'll see on the side of each Sonic is a little grub screw. And this is basically a retaining screw for the spring inside. And they can move with active play. So all we're going to do is undo them a little bit. So you don't want to come right out. So if you take it too far out, it'll spring off. Nice and smooth. Perfect. Okay, so the second problem that you might come up against, obviously if you're carrying this around in your pocket, which we suggest you do, and a lot, because we do, but what can happen occasionally is it just becomes a bit rough inside, doesn't feel quite right. This requires a little bit further digging, but again, nice and simple. So what we're going to do, hold your Sonic in one hand, pull it down so it's not on. Then what we're going to do is grab hold of the black piece, which might be a little bit tighter than that, and just unscrew the black piece. One of two things will happen. Either the black piece will come off, as well as the emitter, or the whole piece will come out like that. Easier if it's like that, but if the top comes off, that's fine. Don't let go of that straight away, because otherwise it will spring fire off. Slide that out, then inside you can see there's your spring. So you can actually take that out and check that. We can have a look in there and you can see the studs that hold the spring in place. Now, the inside of that one's not looking too bad, but what we'll do, microfiber cloth, obviously make sure that the owner of the microfiber cloth knows what you're going to be doing with this before you nick it. Twist and push. Bit of a twist, and that just gives it a clean out. Not too bad. Bit of plastic in that one. Right. The other bit, we're going to just give that brass there just a white round. We don't advise putting any lubricant on these, purely because the aluminium and the brass will create a sort of dust lubricant. But obviously if you add pocket fluff to that, it stops it working nicely. Right, so refit is reversal of removal, so spring in first, like that. Oh, that's better, a lot nicer. Hold it down just before it turns on, and then you should be able to just slide that in, and then ever so gently back into the original hole, and that just needs to be finger tight. And that's it. We're good to go. Another adventure to come. Excellent. So in this part of the video, we're just going to discuss scratches and marks. Now, yeah, you can just see on there's a few marks on a highly polished area. I'm going to show you with hand tools and things that can be bought locally, rather than showing you how we would do it with the machine polish, because obviously not everybody's got a machine polisher in their garage. So you can buy multi-packs of wet and dry, which is sandpaper, I suppose, but it's very fine. And I tend to go with 1200 and 2000, and you'll also need some of this. metal polish, couple of cloths, and yeah, we should be able to get rid of most of those marks off that sonic screwdriver. So first we're going to start with the rougher of the two, which is the 1200. There's our scratched area, and all you're going to do is rub in line. When the sonics are turned, they spin that way, so we polish them that way. If you keep to the same angle that we polished them at, you'll get a better finish. It'll keep in, especially if you don't want to have to re-sand the whole thing. If you're just getting rid of one scratch, this will stop it from showing up so much, because you're polishing in the same direction as it was originally polished. So as you can see, and that cloth, give it a wipe, see how far you've got. And what we're looking for is an even finish. So you see some of the scratches are just there, but the scratches that were here are under that even finish. So we've just got a little bit more to do just on there. Probably need a small piece of paper, don't we? Okay, so for the sake of this video, we're going to cut the sanding short. But you'd have to do that, do the second procedure, and then go back. But let's have a look. So we'll go down to the 2000 now. So we've got our 2000 paper. And we're just going to go over the same part, same motion, not too much pressure. I'm not pushing too hard on this. What we're looking for is a nice even finish. So I'm slowly moving up and down the body of the aluminium just to give it an even finish. And we're trying to get it buff. There. So that's completely ruined that now, hasn't it? That looks awful as a sonic piece. That's where your polish comes in. That's it. There we go. So, a couple of blobs of the polish on there. Obviously there are other makes of metal polish, but these are all available from Halfords and B&Q, and there's no point using stuff that people can't get hold of locally. So you can probably find them cheaper, but at least you should be able to find them. We would normally obviously use a machine to do this, which would do it in half the time. And if indeed this is a little bit too deep, or you don't want to particularly want to get your hands dirty, or you can't get hold of the machinery or the sandpapers, we do actually offer a refresh for your Sonics, and we'll do this for you. Quick rub with a microfiber cloth, and there we go. Scratches have gone. And that's how you get rid of scratches off your Sonic. Okay then, so final polish. What do we use? Well, I recommend Presso. There are obviously other cleaning products out there, but it's old school. We've known it for years, and it works really well with the aluminium. It's spot on. If you've never used it before, it's just a large piece of impregnated material. It's quite soft. Tear yourself a piece off. Put the lid back on because you don't want it to dry out. And it's just a matter of wipe on. And this is ideal with the Sonics because unlike the polish we were using earlier, has actual particles in it which actually take a small amount of aluminium away when we use it. This, however, doesn't. This is a chemical clean. So this gets rid of all the finger marks. It can get rid of light scratches. You've got to go over it over and over again for quite a while, but it will hide them. And it's just a matter of going over the whole thing. Always make sure you follow the guidelines on the tin, especially if it says wear gloves. Get as old as me, it doesn't really matter. So just give the whole thing a go in, and as you can see, it's causing an oxidisation. It's actually taking off the black stuff is the dirt off the aluminium. So there we go. I'll wipe over, and then microfiber cloth. Hopefully you've got one that's a little bit cleaner than mine, but it does the trick. We tend to do this before we go to a show. Everybody can see the Sonics are nice and clean and looking their best. But even sat on display in a cabinet, they will lose their luster. So doing this once a year won't hurt anything. There we go. Looking fabulous and ready for its next adventure.